And it is only now that we celebrate Eid and we have a holiday for Eid. 2 holidays a year. And people now say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, which is greetings of peace. And so this is the beauty of diversity and unity in diversity. One nation, one country, an autonomous region finally being given their right to self-determination, using their culture and traditions and values to practice in their own way, and living in harmony and interfaith with other Bangsamoro as well, meaning the Lumads who live there as well as the migrants who live there. And I think that is extremely important to bear in mind. So please come to the Bangsamoro.
Well, it was actually more than the MPSA that was mentioned. I am quite concerned about the only producing mine in the region, which is the so-called SR Langoyon Mining Company, that's producing about 1.5 million tons a year of nickel being shipped to China. My concern is what will happen to their operation once the Bangsamoro Basic Law is ratified. Will they be able to continue their production and shipment of the 1.5 million tons a year nickel ore to China? In short, in fact, my question boils down to whether it is possible or whether the Bangsamoro Development Authority envisions a situation wherein the national mining law, of course there are several mining laws that govern mineral resources in the Philippines. There are at least 3. There is one for the minerals production sharing, or the mining law of 1995. There is the small-scale mining law of 1991, and there are the energy laws, energy mineral resources laws. So there are basically 3 categories of mining laws that you will have to contend with in coming up with a new mining law if you have to do it for the Bangsamoro. But if you just adopt the laws that are available at present, perhaps it will be much, I don't know if it will be much easier or shorter to adopt. When do you think, what's the time frame in which you are giving to a normalization of the mining operations or mining operations of SR Langoyon if ever the Bangsamoro Basic Law is passed?
Well, I think this will not only apply to SR Langoyan, but any mining firm that is operating in the Bangsamoro, that the Bangsamoro will really take into consideration very seriously its framework on sustainable development, environment-friendly and responsible mining. So operations of these firms could still continue, provided that they will comply with environment standards. Because what we are receiving is that in one place in Mindanao, the way of their mining activity is that they are extracting the soil. They are extracting the soil, loading them in ships, and processing them in other areas. And soon, we are concerned about the fact that one day, the island will just vanish. So this is what we are concerned of. We do not want our islands to vanish. So, provided that these firms will really comply to our sustainable development framework, then everybody can continue their activities. With regards to mining laws that will be enacted by the Bangsamoro Parliament, well, it really, I am not in a position to preempt the Bangsamoro Parliament because after all, it is not yet there. But what I can say is that in the Bangsamoro, the mindset of our officials and our people is that for as long as our environment is preserved, then we welcome the entry of the so-called responsible mining. We hear that there are some laws that became not as a facilitator for progress, but the laws itself become a hindrance to this progress. And seriously, what we are saying is that we have the opportunity that we begin from scratch. So we want to start it right and move right, and we want to we want to heed the advices of experts who have experience in these areas, considering that relatively speaking, we have little experience in these areas.
We are interested in Bangsamoro. When I say we, I mean Oceana Gold. We don't have tenements in your area. We are in Nueva Vizcaya. We are operating FTA. But, you know, so we look at your area as from fresh eyes. We don't have any tenements yet. But I'm encouraged with what I hear. Also want to give due credit to two people who are not in the room. First, the President for taking this quantum leap. No? It's very hard to take steps towards peace. No? And of course, you know, the MILF leadership. But also another gentleman who's been supportive of the process. I'm talking to the Prime Minister of Malaysia. Najib Razak knows the Philippines well. He used to come here as a young man, and I had the chance to work with him. He was working with Tunku Rasali at that time, and I was working with the National Oil Company with Chairman Jeronimo Velasco. So we are ready to support you and help you in any way. My advocacy is also education. I won't take too much time. Leo, you are our lead director for Mindanao. I will, of course, support you. Let's engage with them. Tell them about Enactus, because Enactus is very heavy in Luzon and the Visayas, and I'd really like to bring it to Mindanao. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to all of you. Salamat.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
On that note, before we close, one of the comments that I made to others in this room earlier was that in our panel, we actually have 3 doctors and 1 engineer, but only one can give you a prescription if you're sick. But today, that of course is our medical doctor, Dr. Saff. But what we've heard today is a prescription from all of you on what is possible and what is looming as an opportunity for, I guess, the private sector. And I'm not just talking about the mining industry. I'm seeing agribusiness. I'm seeing all kinds of opportunities to engage with you. And we're looking forward to the workshops. I hope that the mining industry can formulate one fairly soon to express. And I think it could be instructive because the mining industry will tell you what works. Our national government, unfortunately, hasn't been listening. So, and we're on tape, so. No, we're on live stream. On that note, what I'd like to say in comment is that you indeed have an opportunity to change the game. And in doing that, you have the opportunity to show the rest of our government how to do it right. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's give our guests a very warm, big hand. Thank you very much.